All right, shalom, shalom. It's the brother Quashab coming back at you with another lesson on the M.O.T.B, which is the RFID microchip. All right, according to the Bible, as you can see, Revelation 13, verse 16 down to 17. Okay, now before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. All right, and as well as those that believe in the gospel. And may you endure to the end, Lord willing. All right. Now, just coming back at you with another, like I said, another M.O.T.B episode in which, this pretty much going to be like mostly a commentary. All right. Now, the brother from GMS Watchman, all right, out there in New York, all right, posted this clip, okay, and we can tell the time is short, ultimately, all right, but my question to those who listen would be, when will this become normal? All right, when will this become normal? All right, as you can see them, as they're gonna go into, now I probably don't get through the whole thing, Lord will, I'll leave the link to the actual video, all right, on what I'm watching, the brother video, as he posted. I'll leave the link in the description or whatnot, or the comment section, if you want to go ahead and watch the whole thing yourself. All right, but it's a lot of valuable information, man. All right, a lot of things that Jake need to know, all right, and the test trials and everything else, on how they just constantly massaging this thing into the brains of the people, all right.
Today to look at 2050, and we were just in Norway. Let's turn now next door to Sweden. I think this goes, Matt, into the category of when things go a little bit weird. Today in Sweden, 4,000 people got up and got out of bed to go to work with a chip implanted in their hand. It's about the size of a grain of rice. It fits right here between the thumb and the forefinger. And for those people, they replaced their house keys. They didn't need keys today. The chip replaced their Metro card and their train ticket, and it replaced their employee badge when they got to work. In fact, I was surprised to learn the other...
Right, so as I did a lesson on it before, convenience is going to get a lot of people killed. All right, now as you can see, she was saying it basically replaced everything. All right, your wallet, all right, your keys to your house, your car, okay, your the way you clock in, all right. And which at my job, when you clock in, you got to use your thumbprint, all right, which is another lesson for another day, all right. But ultimately, just massaging it in your brain when you use your thumb is how much easier would it be to use the C-hip, all right, the charagma, all right, what you see the apostle holding, I believe that's Photoshop or whatever, but with the apostle was in between his fingers, all right. How much easier would it be to just swipe, scan, all right, whatever, and just keep it going, keep it pushing. You don't have to worry about badging in, badging out, all right. You just, scan and go. It's convenient.
Today that the entire railway system of Sweden is outfitted to handle these human microchips.
Right, and they said the entire railroad system, all right, meaning the entire society, okay? When you look at a railroad system, it runs all throughout the country, all right? And whatever's on the trains is delivering goods and different things as a truck would, all right? You have things that come in off the boat, all right? It either gets, put on a train or put on a truck so it can get delivered. All right, which is why she referenced the railroad system. Basically, it's code word for saying, the system is online. All right, it's good, it's ready to go. All right, and talking about the new world order. All right, the system, the beast system, man. All right, to have this thing incorporated in your everyday life.
It's kind of astonishing. So if we're going to think about the world in 2050. There's a guy in Sweden we need to meet. His name is Johan Esterlund, and he's the CEO and founder of a company called Biohacks. He manufactures and implants all of those biochips in his fellow Swedes, and he's been working with companies and governments all around the world. We have him coming to us live today from Sweden. There we go. Good morning, Johan. Can you hear us?
Hi, Carolyn.
Good. Well, thank you for joining us. He's sitting in his home right outside Stockholm this morning. Give me a second just to introduce you a little bit more. Johan is a trade association head, like many of you. How long did it take us to get comfortable? And as we mind, let's think about those technologies and when they were first introduced, how long dog and cat people defibrillator. And we're comfortable with that.
I wanted to skip ahead a little bit.
How many of you know someone with a pacemaker or an implantable watch or a Fitbit? Just a quick show.
All right, listen to what she say, because this is some key points right here. All right, that she making. Let me see. I'm gonna go back just a little bit more, make sure I get the questions.
Background.
She asked 3 questions, man.
To really become the leader in the Nordic countries on microchipping. So hello and thank you. I've got a couple of questions for the audience that will get us level set. Just a quick show of hands. How many of you in this room have a wearable, like an Apple Watch or a Fitbit? Wow, okay, gosh, that's like half the room. Okay. How many of you know someone with a pacemaker or an implantable defibrillator? And we're comfortable with that. Okay, that's also about half the room. All right, the third and last question. If you have a pet, is your pet microchipped? Dog and cat people? All right, again, that seems like half the room. Well, listen, with that in mind, let's think about those technologies and when they were first introduced, how long did it take us to get comfortable? And as Matt talked about it,
how long did it take us to get comfortable? All right, and when she asks all of these questions, people wear Apple Watches. All right, people get their dogs, their cats chipped. All right, people wear pacemakers. All right, but the point she's trying to make is that when it all first came out, all right, when it was new to people, they didn't really accept it. All right, and what she's trying to imply here is that it's going to be the same way with the M.O.T.B. All right, which is why I keep saying and keep massaging it. The thought of it being convenient. All right, the thought of it being more proficient. All right, to use in everyday life as you know, this Salakia, for the lack of better words, but just, you know, continuing to massage it into the people's mind, man. All right, as this will become a normal thing. You know, you might not like it now, but you're gonna like it in the future. You see, you're gonna like it in the times to come, man. All right, it might not seem cool now, but hey, you know, the world is all about trends, man. All right, and the M.O.T.B. gonna be trending, you know.
Others, are we going to go to a world where augmentation and information on your personal body might be required for work or might be required for travel? We've got someone here to talk to us about it today. We found him through a lot of media coverage. He's been covered in Time Magazine. He's been on CNN. He's talked to folks at Davos, and he's agreed to come today. He couldn't be here live. But let's go. Johan, tell us, what's the 101? What are the basics on how these chips are inserted? How much does it hurt? Can you get them out? How much do they cost? Give us the 101.
Well, it's based on NFC technology, the exact same technology you'd see in cashless vending machines and passports, and it's about the size of a grain of rice. About $150 to $200, depending. We try to follow the Big Mac index, and it's not harder than getting your ear pierced, and it's easy to remove.
Hey, and I want to say this too, because you said it costs about $150 to $200 to get. All right, hey man, it's not gonna be it's gonna be free cost. All right, and it's gonna be forced. All right, it's gonna be made mandatory, just as they did with the jab. All right, it was convenient, not Salakia. Salakia, not convenient, but it was what's the word, voluntary, all right? And then it became involuntary, all right, once they saw that people wasn't going to get it, okay? And then it became what? Mandatory. You see? Certain things you couldn't do, certain things you wasn't able to do anymore, all right? Unless you had it, all right? I'm talking about the juice, man, all right? And you didn't have to buy it, all right? You're not going to have to buy the M.O.T.B. It's going to be presented to you, man.
With it. The second.
Wow. Okay, so it's the equivalent of read-only documents, is what you told me on the phone the other day. But if 4,000 people in Sweden have done this, is there something cultural? What is it about the Swedish society that has made that country so accepting of these biochips?
Well, I'd say one, we spend 9 months out of the year indoors inventing stuff. We're a perfect breeding ground for technology. I mean, we did create Skype, the music streaming platform, Spotify, Sony Ericsson, one of the first and biggest mobile phone operators. And I just guess we have kind of a high trust in our government, and we're not afraid of it being taken advantage of.
Interesting. I think we have a different situation here with all of our concerns about data privacy. We'll talk about that in a second. But here's a question that probably many people in this room are asking, which is, aren't wearables enough, or even fingerprints? Why do we need to go to having something foreign like that implanted in our bodies?
Well, you'll never get up to immutable ID with a wearable, and I guess if you take it into account the value you want to push, like we just got bought 5% from Icon Gold Reserve. They're a company that made a cryptocurrency based in gold, so you can literally move metric tons of gold in sub-seconds and immutably identify the ones doing it. So just the financial sector part, where you reduce transaction times and interaction times with up to 90%, should be well enough.
I want to look that word up, immutable. I didn't look it up before the lesson, but I want to look that word up. You know, I might do another lesson on it and see what it means. But you know, he basically going into the convenience aspect. All right, saying that what he says, like having a gold-backed crypto. All right, but you know, these devils, they talk real smooth, man. Okay. Now, I want to skip ahead to about the 8-minute mark, and I'll close out after that.
Imagine being able to quickly identify a dementia patient who may have wandered, or a child that's been lost, certainly refugees at the border who may have no identity papers and need and benefit.
You see, I imagine being able to identify this person if they had a C-hip. All right, if they lost their wallet. Imagine you don't have to worry about somebody that's not supposed to be in the country. All right, because they don't have a C-hip, so you know you can't identify them and they're not supposed to be here. You see, this is what's coming, man. All right, when is this going to become normal? Okay, the new normal. All right, as they were saying around 2020, man, the new normal became normal. All right, and this is another new normal that they're trying to push until it becomes normal.
Fit from that immutable identity. And people have also been imagining a world in the next couple of decades where governments could use biochips to protect national security documents and other information. So I think we're just on the...
What people have been imagining, what people in this world have been imagining the government protecting national security by using biochips, man. I've never heard any person in their right mind say that. Okay? And she's alluding to the elite, man. All right, the people who rule this world behind the mirrors, man. All right, the ones who control the puppets, man. All right, that's what she's alluding to. That's the kind of world that they want to create. All right, give the people an illusion that they are completely safe, man, and they have nothing to worry about as long as they take the sea hip.
Cusp of this with those 4,000 or so in Sweden. But Johan, tell us, how soon will we see this in the United States?
Well, it's not really new. It was invented in the States in 1984, 85 by Jerry Thunberg. And back in 2004, your FDA approved a microchip that was paired and associated with a social security number for first responders to.
You see? So back in 2004, the FDA already approved a microchip that was associated with your social security number, man. All right, and we know that everything is associated with our social security numbers, man. Okay, so when is this going to become a new normal? This was already approved, all right, and that's why we tell you that they passed laws, all right, and that, as it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, that their strength, let our strength be the law of justice, roughly paraphrasing. All right, that's 20 years ago, man. All right, 20 years ago that the FDA approved a C-HIP that was linked to your social security number, man. All right, and how do you think that people don't know about stuff like this? Why? Because they did it so long ago, so people forget, man. You see, this is valuable information that's coming out. You know, I hope the sincere out there take heed, man. All right.
To instantly identify blood group and counterindications or allergies for patients. I mean, the infrastructure is already there. If in Sweden, if a horse gets hit in a street, first responders would scan it and they'd instantly know everything.
You see, convenience. First responders scan it, they instantly know. He said the infrastructure is already there. So it's just a matter of time, man. All right, it's just a matter of when, not if. Okay, because we know that they're getting ready to do something in order to incorporate this, man. All right, very, very shortly this is coming to pass, you know, and call Allah Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Okay, because we know, as I got another lesson queued up, that there's a victory. Is already written that there's victory over the beast, man, his image and his mark, man. All right, and I think I'll let a little bit more play and then I'll close it out.
Daddy horse and mama horse, everything in between. If I lose my wallet and I get picked up in the street and I don't have any ID, I'm a John Doe. Well, having that digital voice can actually save lives.
Well, with that in mind, you had a question you wanted to ask the audience. I think this might be a non-shipping crowd, but why don't you go ahead and ask?
Well, I mean, with a little bit of imagination going forward, who of you would opt in to get a microchip to boost your wallet and keys, and maybe even have it as an opt-in for your employees?
Wow, that's interesting, pretty surprising. Maybe a third of the room. All right, I'm surprised, but this is giving faith, because there's another question at the end of this about who's going to step up to do this.
You know, and that was the point. All right, this guy asked a question, and who's ready to get one? All right, and no, you're not gonna have to pay for it either. All right, but there's a judgment written for those who do get one, those who do receive one, those who do bow to the image of Baal, man. All right, and I ended off with that. It's the book of Revelation. It's chapter 14, verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of our power, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. All right? And that's the point, okay? You're going to be tormented, man. All right? Put to death. Die miserably, grievously, all right? Painfully, okay? And that's going to be the judgment that's written for those who take the M.O.T.B, man. So, you know, that was pretty much the point. You know, Lord willing, that was edifying. And Abarat Desire, I'll leave the link to the rest of the video in the comments or the description, man. All right, so I don't want to write this out. That was edifying. Till the next time.